Welcome to Inside Durango Sports. I'm John Mahoney. The Iron Horse Bicycle Classic was cut nearly into half its usual distance due to predicted bad weather. Durango's most renowned sports event usually runs all of the 47-mile journey from Durango to Silverton, but this year the race was more of a sprint, only spanning 26.5 miles to Purgatory at Durango Mountain Resort. The cutback not only disappointed racers, but also local businesses in Silverton, which lost out on the added tourism they have come to expect from the previous 42 Iron Horse bicycle races. Of the 2,700 athletes who signed up for the event, only 1,700 actually took part. Event founder Ed Zink blamed that on the bleak weather outlook over the 2 days. Prior to the event, 29-year-old Durangoan Troy Wells crossed the finish line in a time of 1 hour 19 minutes and 13 seconds to take the road race crown. Wells' win came as a surprise to many who expected to see his older brother Todd take the glory. Three-time Olympic mountain biker Todd still posted a top 10 finish, but it was the younger sibling who reigned supreme. But not without a fight, as Ned Overend finished just a bike length behind Troy Wells. The shortened course played more to Wells' strength, with less high-altitude climbs, and the 5 times Iron Horse champion and current record holder, the remarkable 58-year-old Ned Overend, just failed to catch him. Aside from the main race, a new classic of its own was born in the form of the Mountain Horse Tour. The new course climbs the 27 miles that the Iron Horse didn't this year, from Durango Mountain Resort to Silverton. The Mountain Horse Tour will ascend over 2 10,000-foot mountain passes and will be sure to give the lungs, calves and quads a good burning. On Monday, it was the classic East Animas time trial race. Riders take off in turn at 30-second intervals and race against the clock. The race goes north along County Road 250 with a finish at Shalona Hill. Kip Taylor from Albuquerque and ex-Fort Lewis cross-country runner was the winner in 34 minutes and 17 seconds. But how about the runner-up? Local rider Christopher Blevins, only 16 years old, came in second, only 14 plus seconds behind. Amazing. Blevins opted to switch from the junior category to the men's Open A division at the last minute. What a future he has. The shorter course this year did not change the event's benevolence. The Iron Horse Bicycle Classic donated a portion of profits to many community-based programs, including the Mercy Health Foundation. For full race results, course maps and much more, visit ironhorsebicycleclassic.com. Thursday, the 5th of June, marks the start of the Animas River Days, Durango's annual celebration of the Animas River. The 4-day celebration kicks off with the film night at 6:30 p.m. in the Smiley Building. Doors open at 5:30 for refreshments provided by Sia Taqueria, Scar Brewery and Zubafizz. The film night celebrates the best paddling films of the year and gets everyone prepared for all the upcoming whitewater action. The sports excitement begins on the weekend, starting with the slalom race at Santa Rita Whitewater Park. The race begins at 9 a.m. with registration from 7:30. But what's an Animas River Days celebration without involvement from our furry 4-legged friends? The dog fetching contest starts at 11 a.m. with river retrieval, and then at 11:30 for the land fetching. And these canine athletes show off their talents again at noon in Santa Rita Park as Durango enjoys a bit of showmanship in the best dry land dog trick contest. Now back to 2 legs. The Boatacross and the Last Paddler standing races start at 1:30 in the afternoon, and to round off Saturday's events, the biggest and arguably most competitive race of the day zooms off from the start line at 3 p.m. Don't miss this yellow ducky race. Sunday morning sees the Downriver Kayak race take place at 9 a.m. The race starts from the put-in at 33rd Street and ends at the bridge near Four Corners River Sports. The Smelter Smackdown Raft Sprint sails off from 9th Street at 10 o'clock with a final destination at Whitewater Park. The first in a series of 3 Four Corners stand-up paddleboard races starts from 33rd Street at 10:30, followed by the Surf the San Juans freestyle competition half an hour later at Whitewater Park. The final events of Animas River Days celebration are bound to be a load of hot air with the inflatable rodeo and the inflatable downriver race. Both competitions begin at 1 p.m. with the rodeo at Whitewater Park and the downriver race floating its way to Santa Rita from 29th Street. The winners of the festival's many events will receive their commendations at the awards ceremony at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday in Santa Rita Park. Let's talk about pool at Pongas. The Durango Coors Light BCAPL 8-Ball League moves into its 8th week of competition, and we have a new frontrunner. Team Incognito have knocked Fair and Foul from the highest of perches down to second place by just 1 point. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Incognito, comprised of Dan Cook, Gary Franson, Charlie Harmer, Wayne Lyle and Danny McFarlane, are undefeated as a team and as individuals sit at the top of the standings with 120 wins and 71 losses. Incognito stormed to the top of the leaderboard with a very close shave against 5th place I Dream of Greenies. Franson led the team in the first round with back-to-back wins against Greenies, Adam Duthie. Single wins from Lyle, McFarlane and Harmer secured a first-round win 5-3. McFarlane and Harmer won both their games in round 2 to contribute towards another 5-3 win. Every player won a single game from both teams for a third-round 4-4 stalemate. Then into the final round with Incognito up by 14-10. I Dream of Greenies put up a spirited comeback to take the round 5-3 in their favour, but ultimately fell short by 2 games to lose 15-6. Second place Fair and Foul have a chance this week to regain control of the league after they dropped from the top spot. They lost points against Team Hawaii 2 weeks ago in a 17-15 loss. Due to the odd number of teams in the league and last week's mid-season week off, Fair and Foul head into this week's contest against the 6th place Beatles, well rested and roaring to go. Fixtures for Tuesday the 3rd of June are as follows. Change Gamers versus Zoopies, Fair and Foul versus Beatles, Incognito versus Team Hawaii, and Roadrunners against I Dream of Greenies. 4th ranked Perfect Poor Poolers have a week's rest. The league takes place every Tuesday at Pongas, and if you're not in the competitive mood but still want to play, Pongas offers free pool all day, every Sunday. Local spring soccer continues. Brian Eisenbraum and his soccer team B Square may sit happily at the top of the Durango 6 vs 6 men's recreational soccer league, but finally someone has put a dent in their previously unscathed shield. They were held to a 1-1 tie against 4th ranked Rogers Equipment Sales on May 28th. Rogers were the same team that conceded the most amount of goals in one game so far this season when they lost 11-3 against Pub Team last month. The tie with the league leaders marks a huge result for Rogers Equipment Sales, but B Square won't be happy to have shared the points with an opponent that the oddsmakers said they should have beaten. Winless Bad Goats continue to linger at the bottom of the league after a 5-0 defeat to Nayarit on the 28th of May. The 1st of June saw 3 games played on the Santa Rita Park field. Pub Team dismantled the Goonies, 7-2. Rogers Equipment Sales recorded another tie against Carver's Brewing, and B Square redeemed themselves with a 2-0 win over Bad Goats. Curiously, not quite the margin of victory you would expect from the top team versus the bottom. Did the tie against Rogers Equipment Sales set into motion a dramatic downfall for B Square? We will find out this week as they take on 6th place, the Goonies. Also this week, Pub Team will try and replicate their first game of the season as they take on Bad Goats. In the first game between these teams, Pub Team emerged victorious 4-0. Rogers Equipment Sales host Nayarit on the 11th of June, followed by Carver's Brewery meeting the Pub Team again. Non-stop soccer fun. And while we are on the topic of soccer, Fort Lewis College men's and women's soccer teams will hold their alumni games on the 30th of August. All your favourite graduated players return to play the current 2014 team, so mark that Saturday into your schedule. By then you will be well rested from all that World Cup soccer action and be ready for great local soccer. That's it for another edition of Inside Durango Sports. Tune in again next week for my final show before regular host Jordan Alexander returns from his travels across the pond. I'm John Mahoney. See you next time.